Hi, I'm Sherry Sloan, and today I'm going to show you how to do a little project in Photopea, which is a really powerful photo editor, as powerful as Photoshop. So let's get started. So first we're going to start off with an image. I'm choosing a street sign because I wanted something that had angles. So the first thing I'm going to do is determine if I want to crop my image or not. And I do. I want to take out this car. I have no need for that. So I'm going to go ahead and crop my image off to the left and move that in. I think I'll bring this up a little, and then I will accept my crop. So our goal today is to show you that there are several different ways to select items from a photo so that you can edit a particular item from the photo while not editing the entire photo, or basically editing different pieces of the photo. So in this case, we're going to edit this photo so that the stop sign is one color and our background is black and white. So let's get started. Okay, so as a good first step, a good protocol is to duplicate your background layer. I like to turn the eyeball off and then lock it, and then just forget it's there. I have returned to that very many times in my profession. So let's go ahead and get started. So there are lots of different ways to make selections. We're going to select this sign using the Polygonal Lasso. That's really hard to say. But here's the Polygonal Lasso. It is the third from the top. And if you hold down on the lasso, you'll get your three options. We're going to choose the polygonal one. And what this does is it allows you to select using straight lines. Now I'm going to zoom in on this. There's several ways to zoom in. I like the Z key, and then I just click a few times to zoom in. To go up and down, that's called panning. I use the H key or the space key. I'll use my space bar, and the space bar lets me go up and down. So with the Polygonal Lasso, so again, it's the Polygonal Lasso. Make sure you have the correct one chosen. And then you just start at one part of your image. I'm choosing the very bottom, and go around the image that you want to select. Now, it's okay if you forget something, and I'm intentionally doing this incorrectly so that you can see what it looks like when we go back and move some of these, or select more or select less. So let me continue with this. Now, okay, so now if I zoom in, you're going to see that I left out some things that I wish that I had not. So I want to go ahead and add some things into my selection that I may have forgotten. So with my Polygonal Lasso still chosen, you'll see that there are a few options at the top next to it. This one here, if I start selecting more to add into my selection, it's going to replace it, and I don't want to do that. I want to add into my selection. This one will unite, and that's the one I'm going to want. This one here is subtract, and I'll show you what that does as well. So let's go ahead and unite and add into my selection. So let me zoom in here. And I have unite chosen. And basically what I need to do is I need to go where I feel like I missed out on some stuff. And I know that it's not exactly straight lines here, but that's okay. And I just made a loop with my selection. I'll show you again. So again, I'm adding this white part here that I missed. So I'm going to start clicking, and now I'm going to click more precisely, and then loop back around to the beginning of my lasso, and that will bring in the extra. I'll show you again over here because I left this white out here. So again, I'm just gonna start clicking somewhere in my selection, and then continue with the white part here, and then loop back, and that includes the extras. Looks like I left a little bit out up here as well. So I'm going to go around and continue sharpening up the stuff that I need to add in. Oh, before I do that though, let me bring my hand tool up and pan up a little bit. I want to go up to the top part here. So notice how I have too much sky there. Well, I want to show you the other option up here, which is the subtract. So same idea. This time I'm going to subtract from my selection. So this time I'm going to start clicking outside my selection and grab this slice of sky that I don't want there, loop back around, and it's going to take that out of my selection. So again, let me show you. Do I have any more parts like that? I have a little bit right here. I'll show you again right here. So I will, again, I click outside my selection, and I'm just going to make a loop, and that will eliminate that from my selection. So I'm going to continue going back through and adding and subtracting from my selection until we have something that I'm happy with. One more thing is I like to, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to be basically pasting this sign onto the same photo, but the photo will be black and white. In order to make it look nicer, we're going to feather the edges, and that means the edges are a little bit blurry, so that way it doesn't look photoshopped. So I like to feather about 3 pixels. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, I have now finished making my selection. It's not perfect, but that's okay. I'm not perfect either. And now we're going to show you the power of what this can do. So I'm going to copy and paste my selection. So I've just made it. In fact, if you see in my history, I have a lasso select as my last thing. And now I'm going to copy and paste this to a new layer. It's going to do it automatically if I press Control C, Control V. I actually have a Mac, so mine is Command C, Command V, but I'm going to do it the long way just for visual purposes. Edit, copy, edit, paste, and you'll see that I now have a new layer. So I have my stop sign on top, and I have my picture with the stop sign below it. If I click on this eyeball here, the lower picture will disappear. And if I click it back, it's right there. But I do have 2 layers going on. Now the power of having these 2 layers on top of each other, where I have not moved the background layer, is that I can change the background. In this case, I'm going to make this one black and white, and I can also change what is here. So imagine having a t-shirt, and you want to change the color of the t-shirt in the image. So let's go ahead and click on layer 1, and we're going to make it black and white. To do that, we click on, down here, a new adjustment layer. It looks like a half moon. And I'm going to just click on black and white. I actually prefer doing hue and saturation when I'm doing black and white because you have a little more control over the black and white. So I'll do hue and saturation. So a hue and saturation means that I am now affecting the layer below it. So this is the layer I'm affecting, and I'm going to bring my saturation way down. And you'll see that my background image is now black and white with a red street sign on it. So, okay, that's kind of cool. We can change our background to black and white. All right, well, this layer 2 is my stop sign. So what can we do with this? Well, we can do the same thing. A hue and saturation adjustment layer. So again, that is the half moon at the bottom, hue and saturation. This time it's going to affect only the stop sign. And now when I bring my hue and saturation, oops, not my saturation, my hue, I can now change the color of the stop sign to something completely different. Let's have a pink stop sign. And so now you have a pink stop sign on a black and white background. So that is your example of the polygonal tool. When you want to export your final project, you're going to go to File, Export As. In the case of, for me, usually it's almost always a JPEG. So you export the JPEG, and you can choose how, what you want it to be called. I'm going to call it Stop Sign Final. If you were going to print it, you would want 100% quality. I'm not going to, and I'm not going to attach the metadata. That's the stuff here. I'm not going to attach that. I'm going to click on Save, and I have now saved my project. That's it.